The Marley Cold Water System is a well-thought-out pipe system of plastic with a diameter of 20, 25, and 32 millimeters. Universal connection possibilities in garden, home, and yard are available through a complete program. Once installed, the cold water system makes access to water in the garage and garden shed easy. For watering green areas, for watering the garden pond, as a feed for a fountain, or to fill a swimming pool. It can also be used as an intake line from a cistern and rainwater collectors. Doesn't matter where it goes. One thing is clear: Marley Cold Water System is extremely simple to install. Push together, screw in place, finished. And because it's not glued, soldered, or welded, it can be expanded at any time. With pipe diameters and connections for every use, above as well as below ground. And the high-quality plastic resists corrosion, sediments, algae, bacterial attack, and aging. The Marley Cold Water System can be installed without previous knowledge. For in-ground installation, you must first dig a channel that is 30 to 35 centimeters deep. This should be filled with sand so the line is not in direct contact with sharp stones. The pipe can be cut squarely to the desired length. Now, push the connecting nut, clamping ring, and the O-ring onto the end of the pipe up to the stop and hand tighten. Before you close the channel, you should check the pressure. Aside from pipe lines being available in 3 different diameters, you can also obtain the following components for your individual cold water installation: connection pieces to connect lines, reduction pieces to connect differing pipe diameters, bends in order to change the line direction, bend fasteners with connection possibilities like a water receptacle, T-fitting for a 3-pipe connector, T-fitting for a double pipe connector and connection possibilities such as a water receptacle, end caps for the end of the pipe line, diaphragms for a water spigot, for example, brass adapters to connect plastic to copper, diverse reducing nipples, pipe clamps, water receptacle, keys for a water receptacle, ball valve for various diameters, valve, T-fittings, as well as distribution box and maintenance shaft. Water exactly where you need it, no problem. With water receptacles at various places in the garden, you can conveniently get water without having to wrestle with hoses. They are barely visible if installed flush with the ground. Ice can damage the Marley Cold Water System. To remove water from the lowest point in the system, we recommend a ball valve in our distribution box, for example, or a maintenance shaft. To connect a copper pipe with a diameter of 12, 15, and 18 millimeters, there is an appropriate adapter. To connect with other pipe systems, the threading must be sealed with Teflon tape. The following factors should be considered. The water pressure at the available water source, in this example 2.5 bar, and the water flow volume is independent of the available pressure. The length of the pipeline, the number of water sources, and the pipe diameter. A quality pump from a DIY market should be available to provide 4.5 bar of pressure. In this diagram, we can see how the pressure of the water source is held in the pipe length. The picture changes if there are two extraction points used simultaneously. If water is not entering the wastewater channel, you do not have to pay sewer charges. That is why it is recommended that a professional install an additional water meter at the beginning of the cold water line. The Marley Cold Water System is constructed of extremely resistant plastic and does not require any maintenance except for winterizing, as only minimal sediments and corrosion are anticipated. You can safely assume that with this DVGW tested system, the drinking water quality received will function perfectly for a very long time. With a screw connection 32 millimeters to 1 inch or 32 millimeters to 3/4 of an inch, you can connect a cold water line to a garden pump with no problem. With a 1 1/4 inch reduction and a screw connection, you can connect a cold water pipe and the return valve for a suction line without a problem. You have a few possibilities to connect a water spigot. 1. A corner angle is screwed onto the pipe. The spigot threads are sealed with Teflon tape. 2. To a diaphragm, if the pipe diameter is 25 or 32 millimeters, you only need a reduction for the water spigot.